Namaste yogis, welcome to the Asana breakdown. Today we're looking into plank, one of the most popular and also common pose in pretty much every single class. Whether you are a beginner just starting to build some overall body strength, or if you're a seasoned practitioner who is looking to increase the core strength to either supporting the spine or to stabilize the pelvis, this is a great pose for you. For me personally, plank is such a great pose because it not only shows a great example of how your body works overall, all together as a whole, because you have to engage from shoulders all the way to the heels. But also it teaches the practitioners the idea of body and mind connection and awareness. And I will explain more during this video. What did that really mean? Body and a mind connection. So some common mistakes that I see in class, in plank, I would demonstrate a little bit, is one, people find overloading their shoulders, making their wrists very unbearable. Number two, hips sticking up high because they feel like they can't hold themselves very much longer than the instructor cues. Or people just kind of hanging into their hip flexors and feeling tremendous discomfort from their lower back. So I'll explain how to correct each of this common misalignment in class. First, let's look at the first one, overloading the shoulder and then discomfort from the wrists. So what's happening in the shoulder? Here's an example for body and a mind connection. Can you feel in the pose that you're in what's happening to the body? For the shoulders, you want your shoulder to protract in a plank pose. So what does that mean? Let me show you the opposite, and that will help you to understand what's protract mean. Oftentimes, I see practitioners, students just kind of dropping their ribs and then just hanging here. And of course, when the shoulders are not active and working and contributing to the pose, of course, this overloading of tension and pressure, making the whole arms, hands, wrists uncomfortable. So let's restart, coming to a tabletop. Let's practice with me here. Spreading the fingers wide, allowing your shoulders over your wrists, allowing your fingertips to actively gripping your yoga mats to turn the hands, the fingertips, knuckle pads fully on. And then for the shoulder, protraction means you pushing the ground away so that the center of the sternum pressing upward to the sky behind your head here, that you see and you feel a very slight subtle rounding in the spine. And that's what's happening with the shoulder. So retraction, hanging out, protraction, engagement and activation in the shoulders. And then that's how we correct the first misalignment. And in terms of butt up to the sky in plank, that's due to your core is not really contributing and active. You want to feel, we now know plank is the core stability pose. So where do you want to feel in your body? Your core. So what's happening to the whole center region is there is a slight flexion of the spine and hips. If you're upright, it is drawing your ribs and then your front hips towards each other. So a little bit of rounding looking, little bit flexion going on. So in the tabletop or plank, it looks like little bit rounding of your lower back. All right, so that should help you turning on that core muscle. And then more importantly, body-mind connection. Feel this area working. And then lastly, to correct the lower back hanging here, oftentimes happens so often. When you feel your lower back is suffocating, body, mind connection. Where do you feel? Lower back, and then guess what's working? Lower back. So this is not a pose for your lower back. So Engaging your core, ribs to hips, protract the shoulders, activate your entire body, bracing your core, bracing your hips, contract your legs, press the heels out, send your ribs forward, send your sternum forward, and feeling this pose tremendously active. Should get you a little bit shaken in a couple of breaths here, and then you know body is working. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the knees and take a break. Oftentimes people ask me, can I modify this posture if my wrists are uncomfortable, even with all the protraction and active hand? Yes, so if your hands, wrists have either past injury or discomfort, you can actually do a forearm version. If you're doing the forearm version, grab the opposite elbows and then set your hands either into a fist or flat palm. Really doesn't matter, but same principle apply. Protract the shoulder, flexion of the hips and spine, bracing your core, bracing your hips, strong legs. Don't stick the butt out, don't hang on the lower back. Feel your core, heels press out, sternum forward, ribs to hips. Breathe for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees and coming out. Another modification is, you've seen it in class, dropping the knees onto the mat. So let's take a little bit of time looking at this modified version, because modified plank is not tabletop. All right, so from a regular plank, if you can hold it long, you're dropping your knees. Let me angle myself a little bit better so you can see. It is not a tabletop. Tabletop is not a plank. So it's a little bit longer than your regular tabletop. Protract the shoulder, gripping your yoga mat, light flexion of the hips and spine, and then lean forward. You want to see and feel your core working, and then a straight line from shoulders to your knees. Not as much, not too much. I would just say not much easier than the regular plank if you're doing it right. So you're still feeling all the engagement, bracing and pulling into the core center. So plank is a pose that if you consistently and patiently practice day after day after day, you will see the difference. So happy planking. See you on your mat. Hopefully I have explained everything you would like to know about plank. Namaste.